Hi everyone, welcome back to our another episode. This is Nicole,
And I'm Dave.
and today we're gonna talk about astrology with a Canadian chart. And I know a lot of astrologers in YouTube. They talk about the collective astrology energy reading along with the USA chart, but not so many people actually talk about Canada, right? So we are gonna do it more.
hmm
So moving forward, so we can do collective energy reading based on astrology, along with the USA chart and Canadian chart as well.
Yeah. And for those of you who are new to astrology or you're beginner, you only know the basics, you can go to our website and you can see some of the basic worksheets that we have. And we're going to be releasing a lot of teaching 101 stuff so that you can better understand the readings that we do. And and just basically like everything in this world has a birth chart. So from people to countries to events, things.
Including, like your wedding, your
Yeah,
divorce day, or an accident day,
yeah,
all has a birth chart, and
yeah,
that's unfolding from that point
hmm
of the event as well.
yeah.
But anyway, let's dive into Canadian birth chart and what this new moon have to talk about it.
hmm So this is the birth chart we're using for Canada, July 1st, 1867, in Ottawa, Ontario, at midnight.
And there's a few other variation of the Canadian birth chart, but we picked this one because of there's so many activation going on with the planetary energy. And again, this is our viewpoint, our interpretation. Just you can take this as an entertainment purpose, and this is not the advice that you should make a major decision for your life. Just this is again,
Just to provide a different perspective.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is really significant. So let's talk about it briefly. So the green planets are transiting, and this is set for new moon. So new, sun and moon conjunct in the Virgo. It was actually yesterday. And to give you more information, we actually made Virgo New Moon video. If you didn't watch it, please go and watch our video. Then come back to this video because it will give you more insight, but give you kind of short, maybe brief summary. There's so many things going on. So there will be the listing point in the south node where the Scorpio is. So let's talk about more Canadian chart perspective. So let's dive in. So this new moon happened in Virgo, and this new moon is actually squaring Mars in Gemini. So they have a kind of awkward energy flow here. And the new moon is actually conjunct with the Canadian Mars here. So that energy is really emphasizing right now. So that's one of the indication. And the Saturn is conjuncting South Node. This is huge because this is a releasing energy. South Node in Scorpio, especially, how can I put it together? So imagine there's a portal actually opened and that you can release anything was a store for the long time. So that's that energy. And Saturn is there, and Saturn is a ruler of the midheaven. So for the country's birth chart, midheaven is an indication of the government or head of country. So something about that matter is kind of releasing right now. So how can we find that factor? It's because of Saturn in Aquarius and Venus in Leo is casting the opposition, and they both have a strong square to where is Uranus. So they're both squaring from here. So we call that T square. So this is not just happened during this new moon. This T square happened a pretty long time, and this is another indication for another pressuring energy there. So when there is a T square happening, okay, so Dave, can you show that T-square part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's draw that line.
Yeah, so we got Saturn here,
Mm-hmm.
you have Uranus here, you have Venus here. So it's creating a T-square like that.
Yeah. And the Uranus is the planet make sudden change.
Yeah.
It can manifest as a like a natural disaster. It can be flood or like a natural like a fire.
Anything unexpected that
Exactly.
happens with the Earth, because Taurus represents the Earth.
Exactly.
And here, so all the tension is coming from Uranus because Uranus wants to move this evolution into the future.
And Uranus is
Yeah.
like a lightning energy, really, really fast energy,
Yeah.
so that the energy have to release out somewhere, right? So in that case, or for the T-square, the releasing point will be the opposition.
Right here.
And the south node is creating that portal that you can release.
And we got Saturn here, we got the south node here. So you can see that this energy release is affecting the relationship area of Canada's birth chart.
And Saturn is usually father and
authority
figure and ruler of the midheaven. Midheaven is about the country's head, and someone is like higher up position. So that energy maybe get weakened. And another part I want to talk about it in here is, let's change that to check mark.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a Chiron. Chiron is about the indication where like astrologer can see where your wounded area happened. So that wounded area is hitting ascendant, right? And also Canadian ascendant is Aries. Aries ruler is a Mars. Mars is here, connecting to new moon. And when anything happens in the sign of Virgo, it's usually health related. It can be health between physical body. It can be financial health. It can be economic health. It can be like a personal health, any health, or even literally healthcare system as well. And that is kind of my concerning area as well, because this new moon conjuncting Canadian Mars is squaring transiting Mars in Gemini as well. And I have another video on Mars transiting sign of Gemini video. Please watch that episode as well, because Mars will stay in sign of Gemini for 7.5 months. It's a really, really long period of time, because usually Mars stay 7 weeks per sign, but this time 7.5 months is really, really long time. It will let retrograde and bringing back a lot of old issue. And also another concerning part for me is the Lilith is really conjuncting. Let's bring in the checker mark. So this is a Lilith. Lilith is about our dark side or our blind spot that we don't know. So if something is happening, something is a Lilithing, whether it's a government related or whether it's a healthcare related. Scorpio is also about the deep secret. So maybe deep secret might get revealed. It released out to the general public, so people might know about that too. And that might be related to the home security. And or it can be literal as the home housing market as well, because this is our dark spot. Even though you want to guess it, it's really hard to guess it because this is the dark spot. And I see is the deepest chart in our birth chart. It's really, really deep down. It's the bottom of the chart. It's already dark.
It's supposed to be private.
And the dark spot is hitting here, so it's like double the dark, if that makes sense. So that's why a lot of things are going on in this birth chart. And in any cases, something might happen. So especially when I see all the midheaven AC, IC is hitting each other. So in that case, Canada might change our birth chart. Yes, that's possible because that happened to New York, right?
Yeah,
So
US.
US.
Yeah.
So New York especially used to have Cancer rising, but when 911 happened, so at the moment of the event, all the planets were hitting AC, MC, and DC, and the pressuring all the energy changed a rebirth of the New York, and New York now has the Virgo ascendant. So
I think it's the sun, not the rising sign, because the US
mhm.
has a Sagittarius rising
No,
or
I'm talking
Gemini.
about New York.
New York. Oh,
Yeah,
New
New
York.
York.
Okay.
So New York used to be like still accepting a lot of international people to living in. It's a multi-cultured,
Mhm.
and also Cancer is a really nurturing um kind of like site.
Mhm.
So like a lot of immigrant comes there to, nest and they starting their living. But after 911, yes, the New York changed their rising sign to Virgo, and we are actually in the Virgo season. So it will be really interesting if something happened during this time, especially Virgo season, and Canada change our like a
Identity.
identity
Yeah.
to Aries, to Virgo, or even Libra.
Yeah. Okay, so to recap, with this new moon in Virgo, we're dealing with the Canadian healthcare system. And this could be relating to, because the sixth house, it could be relating to doctors, nurses, and then hospitals would be here on the other end, the 12th house. So there might be some tension.
Or like a strike.
Yeah, tension or strike between within the health care industry. And as well as last year, when we looked at 2021, when we had the new moon in Virgo, uh, the vaccine passport was introduced, and 6 months later, at the full moon in Virgo, the mandate or the passport was lifted. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens this year around for the next 6 months of what's going to happen in the healthcare industry. And just to recap, we have during this new moon, we've got this T square with Venus and Saturn saying, okay, you got to delay some of your hobbies and your entertainment. Venus wants to play, but Saturn's like, nope, not right now. And then Uranus wants to advance. It wants to make changes, and it happens to be falling into Canada's birth chart. So first house. So something relating to our identity or even our land or physical body. Something might happen that's going to lead to technological advancements or innovation. And then somehow in this seventh house of relationships, we've got Scorpio, and anything Scorpio related, relating to our government, um, will have to be released. And so it'd be very interesting to see what happens. And especially with Chiron and Jupiter right behind Chiron, it's going to cross over Canada's ascendant within the next year. So, within the next 6 months. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens with Canada's identity, with the healthcare system, innovations, and overall the government relationships. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And also, if anyone can share some news, up-to-date news, because we don't really watch news anymore. We only get the information through other astrologers or other like very trusted source. So we have a limited information about what's going on outside. If you think something is clicking inside, you want to share the information, please do to us. And let's share our bigger screen. So wrapping up this conversation, my recommendation is, just do the breathing, breathing exercise and do more meditation and bring more love and share with other people around you. And that will really, really protect you energetically. And also we have our website, truetrue.ca. If you are looking for any birth chart readings or just chatting with us, just reaching out to us. You can find us truetrue.ca or in TikTok, truetrue.ca. And hopefully we have another interesting interpretation with astrology and Canadian and global USA chart next reading. And until then, bye for now.
Take care.